YouTube in the vertical format because going live vertically, people jump in and out on the shorts feed. And that's great because then it helps me build this family, this community of progress on my YouTube channel. What is it? 5:34 a.m. everybody. At day 2 of getting up at 4:30 to hit the ground running at 5 a.m. And about a year ago, I did a review of a book by Robin Sharma called The 5 a.m. Club. Actually it's a fictional story around a motivational speaker who he mentors a couple people that came to the seminar about the importance of starting your day really early and what that does for your life. And so I read the book. Actually, I read the book twice, and then I did a podcast 5 days in a row at 5 a.m. But of course, to do the podcast 5 a.m. every day last year, I had to get up at 4:30. So yesterday I decided to get back into the 5 a.m. club, and for some reason I got up at 4:30, but which is good because then I hit the ground running and at 5 a.m. So today, boom, up again at 4:30. And as I suspected, because yesterday I got up at 4:30, hit the ground running at 5 a.m. And then I went and played tennis at 8 a.m. till 10:15 and played at a high level with a lot of energy. And then from there, I went to the gym, had a great workout for an hour and a half, finished the workout with 20 minutes of jumping rope, and then went back home. And then 12:45 p.m. had my first meal of the day. So I was, the health coaching program that I took, the Primal Health Coach Institute coaching program, really is all around becoming metabolically flexible. So you get fat adapted so that you are able to get very efficient at burning body fat for energy, and your liver creates ketones for your brain to burn. And your brain loves ketones. When you get your body to use ketones for energy in your brain, is very efficient. Now it'll burn sugar, it loves sugar, it's easy, quick, boom. But if it has no sugar available, your liver will create ketones for energy. So it worked out great, a lot of energy all day long. And as I suspected, getting up at 4:30 a.m., almost 2.5 hours of tennis, plus the weight training, jumping rope, sleep last night, no problem. And I made sure last night I had no coffee I'd never had any more coffee after 6 a.m. yesterday. So I made sure last night when I had my last evening meal around 7 p.m., no coffee. I have been getting into the habit of having evening coffee, and the day before my 4:30 a.m. restart, my reboot, that night I had 3 cups of coffee, and man, I was up until 2:33 a.m. Hey, thanks for joining. I appreciate the comments yesterday. I appreciate all the interaction. That's why I wasn't going to come on today, but why not? So I thought I'd jump on here to tell you I made it day 2, getting up at 4:30, hitting that 5 a.m. club, and how it went yesterday for me. Went really well, a lot of energy, and back today, boom. That's a move I learned to make. Modeling Tony Robbins from going to the first Unlimited Power Weekend seminar back in 91, 92. Tony Robbins, I went to see him, paid for the seminar, $600 back in 91, 92. Anaheim, California, 2,000 people at that event. Walked the hot coals for the first time back then. And my wife my future wife saw the changes in me and saw my attitude of gratitude and what I was doing with my life, and my personality shift to positivity and just being more creative and more joyous. And she says, hey, I got to do this program, but this is how it affected you. I want to do it. She did the 30-day tape program. All of her goals came true within the next 5 years. And she said to me, if you ever want to go to another UPW live event, I want to go with you. And so we went again, 2019, right before the pandemic, in Los Angeles. So what a difference between my first UPW seminar with Tony Robbins, 91, 2,000 people, Then my wife and I went to the LA Convention Center for the UPW in 2019. 15,000 people. I mean, what a difference. I really, great energy, 15,000 people, but I really did, in my memory, I really realized how much I enjoyed the 2,000 people seminar, which at the time I thought was huge. 2,000 people. Well, 15,000 people, not quite as intimate a setting, right? I could see Tony Robbins, but we were so far back, we could see him better on the big screens. But it was a fun, each experience was phenomenal. I would say the best part of the UPW at the LA Convention Center in LA in 2019 was the last day when Pitbull showed up. I love Pitbull. I mean, I don't love rap, but I love Pitbull. And Pitbull, he told the story, right, growing up in Miami, his desire from really day one to be a rapper. And as he said, not of the greatest talent, but of the greatest purpose, the greatest perseverance, the greatest relentlessness in his mindset has made him the success today. But he talked about riding in the car home every day from school, and his mother always played those damn Tony Robbins tapes, and he just wanted to be a rapper and listen to rap because that was his focus. And hey, good morning, Ellen, good morning. Tom, good morning. Wow. Hey, good to have you back here. Hey, Arizona, all right. Love it. Elizabeth, you rock. Braxton, what's up? Good morning. You rock. I'm recounting a memory of the 2019 UPW seminar with Tony Robbins and Pitbull showing up the last day. What a story he has been from a kid listening to those damn Tony Robbins tapes on the way home from school. But that was what was kept feeding in his mind. And so it set in motion for him attitudes and actions that brought him to where he is today. But the best visual was him recounting that story of listening to the tapes that his mother forced him to listen to in the car. And then he said, you know where? My jet is parked right next to Tony Robbins right now. My jet. That I'll be getting on right after I leave here. But it was important for him to show up and recount that story. And then he sang. He sang 2 or 3 songs at the seminar. And that was a really great time. So if you haven't ever heard Pitbull talk about what he does and how he thinks and his success principles, check him out. He's got a lot of content online. But I was actually going over some Tony Robbins stuff yesterday, one of his videos, and it just was, it seems like these messages sometimes come along at the right time. And really, it's not a bunch of bullshit, that you can renew your mind every single day, start anew. The renewing of your mind, it's a Bible principle, right? Every day that we wake up, it's a renewing of our mind. We actually can start over today. And I'm doing that today from yesterday. But I'm recounting yesterday, what a great day yesterday was. I get excited just talking about it, getting back into the 5 a.m. club. And no naps yesterday either, so I was excited about that. And today, back up 4:30 and hit the ground running at 5 a.m. Coffee time. I have coffee in the morning because I do like coffee. And I talked yesterday about the fact that I worked a midnight shift in upstate New York from the time I was 21 to 26, and I never drank coffee. I was trying to gain weight. I was always drinking whole milk all night long. Then I got to Los Angeles and working the night shift, and it became a cultural thing where we gathered around the police cars on our breaks and to have a cup of coffee. Let's meet for a cup, as we would always say. And so I got in the habit, but I drink coffee in the morning with a little bit of heavy cream in there. Why? Because heavy cream, it's fat. It's not a glucose, so there's no insulin dump in the system. And the heavy cream staves off your hunger pangs, or you're not hungry. And so I end up not having my first meal till about noon. So and last night I stopped eating around 7:30 p.m. So I go about 16 hours that I'm not having an ingestion. It's okay to have carbs. Carbs get converted to glucose, sugar in our system, but it's just that chronic bombardment, hour after hour, of sugar or glucose, pasta, carbohydrates. That's what gets us to be, later in life, people my age, even younger, you become insulin resistant, right? Your cells say, hey, I got enough, no more, I'm not opening up the door anymore. And it shuts off, and then that will lead to diabetes. I don't want it. My whole family, because of genetics, I'm prone to diabetes. I don't have it. I have cousins. They argue over insulin. You got some more insulin? I need some. I don't want that. My dad took insulin for many years, from age 60 to 83. And so I'm 68, still no diabetes. I would be on the scale, my blood work would say I'm pre-diabetic. My glucose hovers right around 100. But so I'm still working on that. But anyways, hey, thanks for checking in, everybody. I got to acknowledge you. I love it, the prayer. Austin, hey, hi, bro. How are you? All right. Yeah. Oh, man. That's right. Oh, cream has sugar in it because it contains lactose, and lactose is a sugar because sugar is an umbrella. All right, well then I'm going to look into that. Maybe I should just do black. I actually do like black coffee. If you start drinking coffee black, initially you don't like, I used to always just have black coffee. And then eventually you start to like the flavor of the coffee. You realize, oh, I've been just covering up the flavor of the coffee all these years. You know what? Maybe I'm going to go right back to just strictly black coffee. That probably is the best. So thank you. I'm going to try doing that. And thank you for the prayer symbol, because I actually will be going to my Bible-based church today, Coastline Community Church, and they broadcast live. You can always watch. And so I'll be serving in the safety team this morning. And I will be of high energy and full of joy, because basically I've hit the ground running at 5 a.m. And thanks for joining me this morning. And if you're jumping in and out from the Shorts feed, subscribe to the channel. It's all positive content. And yesterday on the same channel, I actually launched a second podcast called the Lion-Hearted Blue Police Podcast, because I wanted to capture and serve my police community, retired and current law enforcement connections, because I have thousands. But a lot of those people, they really aren't into my personal growth, self-improvement, how we can be better and better each and every day in every way. And so I wanted to gear a lot of content back towards them. And my first episode was my buddy Tom Vasile, who I first worked with 40 years ago when he worked for my dad, who was chief of police in the small town where I grew up. And then we became fast friends, very close friends. And he lost his wife at age 50. And now he's remarried, and he found the Lord, and he continues to serve. He had heart failure 2.5 years ago, and then 2 years was the anniversary of his heart transplant success. And now, high energy, he's still serving. He became a police chaplain, shows up on the scenes of these homicides and tragedies to serve not only the law enforcement officers, but the people that are suffering, and the chaplains are there available for prayer and support and for resources. And it's a great thing. So he's still serving. He's still 10-8 in the field. He's out there getting it done. And that's episode 1, Tom Vasile. He's an amazing individual, and boy, did he have to rely on his faith to get through that. I mean, the thoughts, you think you're probably never going to wake up again. Going through that heart surgery, having all these hearts come in. No, it's not a good match. They get you ready for surgery. No, it's not a good match. You can get discouraged, right? The enemy wants to get you discouraged. Bad thoughts, not going to happen. No, he kept the faith. People kept coming into his hospital room and reading the Bible to him and sharing faith, and that got him through. And so our episode was really celebrating his 2-year anniversary of his heart transplant. All right, everybody, I want you to have a great day and go forth with encouragement to others. That's usually my mission every day. And yesterday, my buddy and I, that we were playing tennis, we got down. We were down 4-1. We were the underdogs. We were getting our ass kicked, And I kept telling my buddy Eric, hey, listen, we got this. Let's keep at it, right? Listen, next great play. That's all we need to concentrate on. Forget this miss, that loss, 4-1. We can come back. And he said to me, hey, thanks for the encouragement. And I said, boom, to myself, that's my goal. And so he was receiving the message I was putting out there. That's pretty exciting stuff. You can do the same yourself today. Give the gift of encouragement. It's going to bounce right back at you and hit you right in the heart. I guarantee it. Try it. And so, by the way, we came back and we won 8-6. And that was pretty exciting. All right, everybody, let's have a great day by intention, on purpose. And it's all, hey, listen, we can change our, it's what we focus on, the meaning we give to things, and then the actions we take. And we are the creators. So, created in God's image, God created, and now we can create our own reality. All right, you know I love you. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Let's go forth and conquer the day.